Are your ad campaigns lighting up the dashboard, but not the pipeline? That's bullspend, and marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
My boss asked for results, so I opened my dashboard for the only positive-sounding metric I had: impressions.
Cut the bull spend. See revenue, not just reach. LinkedIn delivers the highest return on ad spend of major ad networks. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Experience a membership that backs what you're building with American Express Business Platinum. Unlock over $3,500 in business and travel value annually with statement credits on select purchases from brands like Dell, Hilton, and Adobe, and other benefits. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Based on total potential value of statement credits on select purchases and other benefits, enrollments required, monthly and other limits and terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
TJ, from time to time, you'll encourage people to check out our podcast as a great way to get to know our show, especially if you only catch 10, 15 minutes in the car. You may want to start mentioning that we're human on that podcast too, because according to this Gizmodo article, nearly 1/3 of all new podcasts are AI generated.
Man.
That is unbelievable.
And there are a lot of podcasts.
An insane number. And what it does is it actually dilutes all the people that are trying to start a podcast, which is hard enough. The reason why, it's almost like they're trying to mine people's attention. It's really easy to click a button and then you generate whatever the podcast is and you hope it catches on. You sort of started seeing the early phases of this on YouTube, where you'd see an alluring headline, it would entice you to click on it, and it was something that was generated with computer-generated images and a narrator, and it's like, oh, great. So that has 60,000 clicks. Not huge, but it generates some sort of revenue for whoever's trying to farm our attention. So it's said it breaks the system, like in this context, of people who are taking their time to generate a podcast, do their research. It just floods it. It pollutes the waters.
These AI-generated podcasts are churned out at an incredible rate. They say about 3,000 new episodes per week, often focusing on no-nonsense information delivery rather than creative or emotional storytelling.
But a lot of it is nonsense, period.
It is that too, yeah.
Now, are they consistent?
Consistent nonsense? Probably.
Yeah, like consistently putting out episodes.
But I'm telling you, it's like, this is the thing. People are longing for human connection. You're seeing an increase in real-life events. They literally call them that, in real life.
Yeah.
And there are people who are curating these events. We have a friend who just set up this big music show. People want to be around human connection.
Yes.
Because it's getting harder to find that because you don't know what's human anymore.
Yeah.
On the internet, on your social media. What else do you have, Kenny?
It seems about once a year, maybe more, we'll get a reminder through some news article about the dangers of flushing your pet goldfish down the toilet or releasing it into the wild, into a natural pond or lake.
What's the danger? That it's outrageously cruel and you should be probably in some kind of trouble if you're flushing a fish down the toilet?
Flushing especially, because more likely than not, the fish will die in a very inhumane way when you flush it down the toilet.
Oh.
But if it does survive and make it to a natural waterway, or if you just release it into the wild, it is a major invasive species problem, according to this new research out of the University of Toledo.
Wow. Yeah, you see this. People don't care. They just throw them in whatever body of water, like water, fine. It'll be free, you know? Let it loose. It'll love it. But the problem is they multiply. And I don't know how that happens. Like, it's so hard to keep a goldfish alive. Have you ever tried to do it? And somehow, people flush them in a toilet and all of a sudden they go and expand.
And they're massive.
It doesn't make sense to me, but this is what happens.
Yeah, apparently they are just rooting through the bottom sediment of these waterways, and that makes the water bad. It reduces the clarity. They're also decimating natural food chains. Apparently, snail populations dropped by up to 72%.
Yeah.
Water fleas as well. And they are outcompeting the native species of these waterways. For instance, you have golden shiners suffered 12% decline in physical health due to goldfish constant and high rate feeding habits.
It's what?
Wow.
You ever go to a pet store And I'm not talking about the weak little goldfish. I'm talking about the ones that are mature. They're like the size of your hand. You ever see how tough they look? They're thick.
Yes.
And they got like an aggressive jostle to their head.
Yeah.
And I'm going to eat that.
They're really girthy.
I'm gonna eat it. Yeah, girth. Got a good goldfish. That's a great name for a goldfish, by the way.
Girthy.
Girth. Girthy.
Yeah.
They can get up to 18 inches long.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Holy smokes.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
really ridiculous.
What else
do
you
not
have?
flush your goldfish down the toilet. TJ, you lived in Boston for many years. Are you familiar with the Flower Bakery in Boston Common in Boston?
Of course. Love that. And I think they had one in Cambridge, too. They were all over the place.
So the one in Boston Common, they have lost their mascot. It's a plastic ice cream cone named Swirly that would sit in front of the store. They thought perhaps that it was blown away in a winter storm, but they said it was possibly spotted in a nearby dorm window.
I believe that.
And as the social media posts, they imply that the mascot was looking down longingly at home, and we have reason to believe he may be confused about where he is.
You know how that conversation went late on a Friday night? I'm taking it, man.
Do
Taking
it.
him. He's my
Do
friend
it.
now. Saw the way he's looking at me.
Yep. And then the next morning, that person woke up to that
No.
cone in their bed.
What did I do?
Yeah.
Or they had no idea it was there.
So the bakery and its owners are pleading for the safe return of Swirly. They said on social media, to anyone who is temporarily sheltering him, thank you for protecting him this winter. Please return him safely, no questions asked, in exchange for baked goods and our eternal gratitude.
Look
So
at that.
it appears that if you're willing to return Swirly, they're not going to call the cops on you, and you'll get some free baked goods out of the deal.
What college student wouldn't want that?
Right.
Yeah. We got to admire them having a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if somebody would have offered me something for the orange cones I took from construction sites, I would have returned them.
What? I didn't know about that.
I mean, that was a long time ago.
What do
That
you-
was during my college years.
What were you? You know what? These college kids. This is why I dropped out. Wait, what were you
That's
doing
why
with
you
the
dropped out.
cones?
I don't know. I don't know what I did with the cones.
She just wanted them.
I just
so
wanted them.
So-
So we took them.
Not endorsing, just something.
Yeah, don't do it.
It'll
They
be-
need the cones.
It'll be in the J-Bo book.
Yeah, for real.
Kenny, what else you got?
In the UK, they have really cracked down on age verification systems online. They don't want little kids going to websites that they're not supposed to be going to. However, according to recent research, kids are having no problem getting past these age verification websites.
How so?
Well, some, for instance, insist that you upload a photo, and kids are getting away with drawing a mustache on their
Hilarious.
lip with, eyelash or eyebrow.
Guys, we're living in a cartoon. You realize this, right? So silly.
52% of those age over 13 and 41% of those 12 and under describe the verification process as easy to bypass. In addition to the drawn-on mustaches, they're also using video game clips of characters to mimic human head movements, or they're also just searching the internet for random photos of adults to upload, and apparently
Wow.
that's
It's
It's like three 12-year-olds in a trench coat. Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm 18.
Right.
Like,
It's actually like cats
Yeah,
inside.
right.
Isn't there a scene from The Little Rascals
Yes.
like that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah, it makes you wonder, do they really want to block the kids out? And what does that mean? Why is it so easy?
Well, who knows? I mean, the study also talked to parents, and 26% of parents said that they've allowed their child to bypass the system, so that the parent will actually intervene and say, okay, yeah, you can
Wow.
go to this.
Kenny, what else you got?
This is an inspiring story, and we've talked about similar things about, as you age, picking up a hobby, perhaps playing a musical instrument or learning how to paint is great for your brain. Well, there's this woman, her name is Nita. She's 99 years old. She started drawing at the age of 70. And through her assisted living facility, she is now having her first gallery exhibit of her artwork.
I love it. That's so great.
At how old?
She's 99 years old.
99. Look at that.
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing. And look, she lived to 99. She's keeping her mind sharp, she's doing new things. It's wonderful.
Yeah, she started at 70 and her art has become great. She often approaches strangers at stores or in public places to ask their permission to sketch them if she is inspired by some image of a person or a place. She says she's never been turned down.
Kenny, what else do you have?
Blue dot fever. Apparently, many musicians are suffering from this affliction. It refers to the blue dots that you see on ticket websites that represent available seats at concerts. There are many blue dots for many of these musicians. They're apparently not selling tickets to their concert tours, and many of them are canceling all or part of those tours.
Well, it makes sense. You see how expensive some of these shows are.
Yes.
And it's like, where are you getting that money from? Have you been to the gas pump? Mm-hmm. You know, it cost me $70 to fill up my tank the other day. You know what that is? Ooh. Less than one concert ticket.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, it costs more to go to a concert. $70 for one trip.
When you talk about gas, right, and then electricity in a lot of places is up.
Oh, yeah.
Then you're talking about grocery prices. And it's just, after a while, you're like, nah, I'm not buying that ticket.
I'll listen to the radio for free.
There you go.
Hi, Sparkletooth. Thanks for turning on your radio.
Well, you're right. The average ticket price in 2026 is $144. That's up from $115 last year, and it was down to $82 in 2020.
Wow.
So the prices are on the rise. That's what's giving people pause when it comes to buying these tickets. The Pussycat Dolls big reunion tour, they have canceled swaths of that arena and stadium tour. Also, Meghan Trainor, Zayn, Jelly Roll, Post Malone.
Jelly Roll?
Among some of the artists who have canceled all or part of their tours.
Yeah, there's definitely an issue. It's like, okay, well, we can go see Jelly Roll, but we're going to have to eat dirt sandwiches for 3 weeks. How do we feel about that, fam?
And then there's some people who can, right? I
Right.
think we live in, there's two worlds happening right now in this country, and some can and some can.
Although I will say Harry Connick Jr. never suffers from blue dot fever, and I know that firsthand.
That's because the people buying tickets are like living off of retirement and dividends.
Yeah, I know. It's great to be Harry. I regret it. There was a $350 ticket that could have been mine in the third row, and I said no. I hesitated. It was one of the worst decisions I ever made. It's gone. Blue dot is not there anymore. It's a red dot.
Old people are buying his tickets.
I want to be old so I could just go see Harry. I love Harry. I did buy tickets for John Batiste, though, and I bought them right next to the soundboard, so I get to watch how they mix the show. I'm very excited.
Happy for you.
All right, guys. What else do we have?
So talk about being in the right place at the right time. There's a pizza restaurant in Levittown, New York. A woman suddenly collapsed in the restaurant. Now, Sage is a waitress at the restaurant, but go figure, she's also a second-year nursing student. She performed CPR on the woman and got her pulse restored before the ambulance arrived and pretty much saved her life.
Did she say... It's National Nurses Appreciation Day?
Well, it's interesting that this article came out on National Nurses Day, which was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be a great superhero way to end that. But no, I bet she didn't because she's just doing
humble.
her job.
She's just doing her thing.
Well, she comes from a family of first responders. Her father is an FDNY lieutenant. Her mother is a nurse, and she's following in that footsteps and already saving lives. She hasn't even graduated yet.
Nurses are just incredible. Mm-hmm. They've walked us through some really tough times. Yes. Absolutely amazing. The difference maker in the hospital when you're going through stuff. Oh, yeah. It's really incredible. Kenny, what else do you have?
There has been a surge in alleged Bigfoot sightings across northeast Ohio.
Let me guess. No footage, or if there is, it looks like a guy in a costume.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're right, in the sense that there is no clear photographic evidence.
There never is. Is that a part of it? If it was a real being, is there something about photographs where we can't capture a good, clear picture of it?
It looks like it's captured from a potato.
Yeah.
You know, all these fancy cameras we have on phones, and all the photos look like trash.
Yeah. It's like a kindergarten class. We're going to turn a potato into a camera. Yeah. Here's how you technically do it.
So since March of this year, locals have reported seeing a creature between 6 and 10 feet tall, covered in dark fur. One detail from a hiker says the creature turned its entire shoulders to look at them rather than just its neck. They've also seen physical evidence. Witnesses have discovered 17-inch footprints in Portage County, Ohio.
It's a bear.
17 inches?
Yeah.
That's a pretty big bear.
Come on now. It's furry.
I'm not agreeing with you on this.
And brown fur.
Yeah.
That's what a bear looks like.
Fur.
Yeah.
I saw a photo of that footprint. I'm putting it in quotes. Did they show more than one footprint in the photos?
I think we're looking at the same article. It's just the one
Right.
that as far as I could tell.
At least show
just
me
the
like
one.
some steps. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? All they showed was
Some
that could be
patterns.
anything. It could just be a puddle of
Now,
mud.
there is one person, Mike Miller of the Ohio Night Stalkers, claims to have recorded eerie howls that do not match any known North American animal.
It's a bird.
He said the screams
just
peaked
said it was a
higher
bear.
than a baboon on a spectrograph, whatever that means. And people think that the reason for this surge is because of a brutal winter and flooding in the area. And that's the same thing that happened back in 1978, which was a significant spike in Bigfoot sightings as well.
It's a stretch. Because, you know what? Birds are weird. And they make like new birds all the time, right? Don't you hear about these birdologists? They go out and they find a new bird every single day they go out.
It wasn't made. It was always there. They just didn't know it existed.
And so the same thing. Some of them sound different. And you're hearing that for the first time. And they think they see the bear, they hear the bird. It's all confusing. That's my Bigfoot theory.
Well, speaking of birds and something we do have clear photographic evidence of.
Not to be a downer on, alien life or anything. But I also know it's safer to not know about aliens in this day, and I'm going to keep doing that.
Okay. Well, we all remember the famous eagles Jackie and Shadow from Big Bear Valley in California.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had eaglets a month ago. Up until this point, they have been known as Chick 1 and Chick 2. There are third graders at a local elementary school that have selected these two birds' names. They are affectionately referred to now as Sandy and a familiar name to us, Luna.
Oh, that's my dog's name.
Sandy and Luna.
So cute. I love that. They're truly a Truman Show animal story.
Yeah, I mean, they have these high-definition cameras, solar-powered, on top of this tree. From what I understand, volunteers with the organization will go up there in the off-season to clean the lenses and replace any parts that may be necessary. But yeah, these are actual birds, and we see them on a 24/7 live stream.
Kenny, what else do you have?
Target recently introduced a collaboration with Pokemon where they're selling a whole bunch of Pokemon memorabilia, different things. They have like a whole section of the store dedicated to Pokemon, complete with all of these displays. It appears people are now stealing those displays and trying to sell them on the internet. And there's one listed for $2,000 for a full-size cardboard cutout of Charizard and Haunter.
Would you buy that? Let's say you were a huge Pokemon fan, knowing that it was almost certainly stolen because it's in the news as being stolen. Would you purchase that?
No, I would not.
Yeah.
Not for a cutout. Not $2,000 for a cutout.
I mean, it sounds wild.
Well, not
And
only...
why not buy it and go, yeah, I'll pick it up. And then you go find the guy who stole it.
Well, more than that, I mean, the people who are stealing this are also filming themselves literally just walking out of the store
on.
with these huge cardboard cutouts
Common
in their
sense is
hands.
not very common.
Guys,
like, come on.
What is going on? You're seeing people blatantly break the law at a rate that I've never seen, and they don't care that it's filmed. Like, I just saw a story in the New York Post about a certain beach, the kind where they're not a huge fan of swimsuits.
Yeah.
And the stuff that's going on there, even the people that show up without the swimsuits, they're upset by how people are treating the beach because you can imagine what's happening. But it's like they don't care that there are photographers there. They're just going totally wild.
Yeah, there's no record. We don't have proof that any of these items have been purchased at this point, but they are being priced pretty ridiculously high.
Man. All right. Well,
We've taken the whole, do you boo to the extreme.
It's gone
I
too
do
far.
think some people need to be corrected in public. Like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
If you don't like something, say something. Like, stop doing that. You're
Yeah.
acting reckless. Bring shame onto people. We need shame to come back a little bit.
well, you did that with, what was it, the kid on the scooter who was doing crazy things on the stairs?
I was moving into my new place and he tried to get into the U-Haul with his scooter and I was like, get off of that. That boy hasn't looked at me in the eyes since I moved in. I know that's right.
Yeah. I'm still a little afraid of my dad.
Yeah, what is going on?
Hey, Tate, yeah? What do you need?
Yeah.
What? You want me to clean the house? Okay, I'll clean the house.
I won't clean my own house, but I'll clean your house, Dad.
Somehow it worked. That kid didn't go on the U-Haul again?
No.
Okay. Kenny, what
Like
else
I
you
said,
got?
he hasn't looked at me in the eyes since I moved in.
All right, we're just having a good time.
Yeah, we could shift gears to something
Yes.
a little bit more heartwarming.
That is heartwarming. He respects me. Next, go ahead.
He's got a nice heart.
So a woman named Sarah, she was in the foster care system in Arizona since the age of 13, and she credits her caseworker, Barbara, with setting boundaries and structures the care she needed to break through the cycle of instability in her family. After Sarah aged out, she lost touch with Barbara, but she had these great memories. Barbara invited her to Thanksgiving with her family. She was protected protective of Sarah in the hospital when Sarah had a baby at the age of 17. She posted a picture from that Thanksgiving dinner on social media, and social media brought Barbara and Sarah back together after 20 years apart. Turns out they only live 3 miles away from each other.
That's
Oh,
amazing.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
See, then there's a good thing about the internet.
That is
Kenny,
right.
thanks for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.